After Rebirth, I rushed to find my husband, eager to rekindle our past love, only to learn he'd fallen ill with amnesia. My heart pounded as I approached Ethan's estate, but froze when I saw him embracing Lily intimately. "How could you?" I demanded, tears choking my voice. He shoved me away like trash. "Who let this crazy bitch in? I've always loved Lily." Refusing to accept this, I consulted specialists and visited temples. That's how I overheard Ethan boasting to friends the wedding's still on. "Emily's too obsessed to leave, even if she discovers my fake amnesia. We need Lily to bear my heir first, otherwise Emily's family might drive her away again with their influence." My world shattered. Ethan had also been reborn, playing us both, dialing Jake with trembling fingers. I whispered, "My wedding still needs a groom. Interested?" Returning home, I packed every gift Ethan ever gave me. Mom wept silently as Dad offered, "Sweetheart, if you truly want Ethan, I'll swallow my pride and offer the Millers more business deals." "Enough." I squeezed their careworn hands. "I won't marry Ethan." A commotion erupted outside. Lily knelt dramatically on our doorstep, tear-streaked face lifted for the gathering crowd. "Please, Emily," she wailed, clutching her flat stomach. "I'm just an orphan. Let me keep Ethan's baby, I'll disappear afterward." Bystanders muttered, "The Sullivan heiress bullying some poor girl? Heartless. Trying to steal the father from his unborn child." As I reached to stop Lily's theatrics, she collapsed artfully. Ethan stormed through the crowd, shoving me to the pavement. "Enough, Emily." He cradled Lily protectively. "You'll never touch my family." From the cold concrete, I watched my former soulmate comfort his mistress. The crowd's cameras flashed, capturing Lily's triumphant smirk hidden against Ethan's chest. My engagement ring cut into my palm as I stood, Sullivan pride straightening my spine. This war would be fought on my terms now. The one I love now is you. I would never marry a vicious woman like her. Lily's eyes welled up with tears as she said understandingly, "Ethan, I'm the one who wronged Emily. If she just let us be together, I'd not only kneel and bow to her, but even let her hit me if she wants." Ethan, moved by both emotion and pity, pulled Lily into his embrace. When he looked up at me again, the fury in his eyes could have torn me to pieces. "Emily, have you no shame at all? I don't even know you. Yet you keep throwing yourself at me. Are you that desperate for a man?" Hearing Ethan's hateful words, my eyes stung as the metallic taste of blood filled my mouth. In my past life, he'd sworn undying love to me, yet now he regarded me like a sworn enemy. My father trembled with rage, pointing at Ethan and roaring, "Ethan, how dare you humiliate my daughter like this? This insult will be repaid to your Miller family tenfold. Your parents will hear of this." Ethan stiffened but retorted defiantly, "Am I wrong? If Emily hadn't been harassing us, would Lily have been forced to kneel? Everyone saw Emily push Lily earlier. If my parents knew how cruel and domineering she is, they'd have called off this engagement long ago." Then Ethan looked down at Lily in his arms and vowed solemnly, "Don't worry, Lily. I'll never let you and our child suffer like this again." Lily clung to him tearfully, watching the two lovers entwined before me. My heart turned to ice. The Ethan who'd once adored me completely must have been an illusion from the start. I stopped my father from lunging forward and stated calmly, "Ethan, let's end our engagement." My words made him flinch violently. Shock flashed across his face as he asked urgently, "Emily, you're serious about breaking it off?" Seeing his reaction, I smiled bitterly. "Ethan, you were never my only choice." I retrieved the heirloom jade pendant he'd given me during his proposal. Ethan's pupils constricted at the sight, his voice trembling. "Emily, once we cancel this engagement, no amount of begging will bring me back." Think carefully. I scoffed. Isn't this what you wanted? Or are you having second thoughts? Ethan flushed angrily. I just don't want you shamelessly chasing me afterward. Never. I declared firmly. I'll never bother you again in this lifetime. Panic erased Ethan's composure completely. Lily tugged his sleeve excitedly through happy tears. Ethan! We can finally be together openly. But Ethan stood frozen, staring at me blankly, opening the jewelry box. I said, since we're ending this, let's make a clean break. Here's the pendant from your proposal. I expect you to return the bracelet I gave you too. At the mention of the bracelet, guilt flickered across Ethan's face. Since I have amnesia, I obviously don't know anything about a bracelet. Wait until I get home and search again. I waved my hand dismissively. No need for the trouble. The bracelet Lily is wearing right now is mine. There are my initials engraved inside. Surely the mighty Miller family heir wouldn't stoop to stealing trinkets? My parents glared daggers at Ethan. They'd waited 8 years to source that jade for my 18th birthday gift. Ethan flushed crimson. He shot Lily a glare, ordering her to return the bracelet. Lily's greedy eyes lingered on my jade pendant case as she caressed the bracelet. Ethan. She simpered. My grandmother always said pregnant women shouldn't give away jewelry during early gestation. It might unsettle the baby. Ethan's gaze darted to Lily's flat stomach. I didn't know about the bracelet when I gave it to her during my amnesia. He said stiffly. Since she's carrying my child, you'll be reasonable. Name your price. Not for sale. I crossed my arms. That bracelet holds irreplaceable sentimental value. Unless the Millers plan to strong-arm me into surrendering family heirlooms now? Ethan's jaw tightened at the jab. Give it back! He barked at Lily. I'll buy you better ones. Lily peeled off the bracelet with exaggerated reluctance, shooting pleading looks between us. When I smirked at her theatrics, she slammed the jewelry into my palm. Who knew Miss Sullivan was this petty over baubles? I examined the bracelet's clasp. Hold it carefully, Lily. If this drops, that Miller heirloom pendant might slip through your fingers too. Lily's face purpled, but she surrendered the bracelet intact. The moment I pocketed my pendant, she shrieked dramatically, collapsing against Ethan. Ethan, don't be angry. She clutched his shirt, fake tears glittering. I tripped on my own. Miss Sullivan didn't push me. You scheming witch. Ethan roared. I thought our broken engagement was mutual. But you'd harm an unborn child? Disgusting. Lily trembled against him. I've apologized repeatedly. Yet you keep humiliating me. Now you attack my baby? How heartless. Save the melodrama. I nodded at the security camera. I'll press charges for false accusations. Let the footage prove who's lying. Panic flashed across Lily's face. Ethan cleared his throat awkwardly. You provoked her with your harshness. Since no harm's done. But I'm not done. I stepped closer. Apologize. Now. Lily gritted out. Sorry, Miss Sullivan. Before their stunned eyes, I hurled the bracelet to the marble floor. Jade shards skittered across the foyer. My bracelet would rather shatter than end up on that homewrecker's wrist. I'll have my lawyer send the bill for this to the Miller family. Security. Escort them out. After the commotion at the entrance subsided, my father said regretfully, we only arranged the engagement because you two seemed so devoted. Who could have imagined he'd turn out so morally bankrupt? I've judged character my entire life. Yet he fooled me completely. I smiled bitterly. I lived 60 years with Ethan in my past life and still didn't see his true nature. The man's simply a master manipulator. My mother began weeping. The wedding's days away. We've informed all our relatives and friends. If we cancel now, what will become of Emily's reputation? Grinning at my distraught parents, I announced, the wedding will proceed as scheduled. We're simply changing the groom. They respected my decision, throwing themselves into preparing an even grander dowry. High society buzzed with anticipation, some even starting betting pools on how I'd salvage the ceremony when Ethan inevitably failed to appear. I ignored the gossip, focusing on wedding preparations. During my scheduled dress fitting with Jake, he texted about running late from a board meeting, since the boutique confirmed my custom gown had arrived. I told him to come whenever possible. The moment I entered the bridal shop, Lily's shrill voice pierced the air. "Miss Sullivan, stalking Ethan again? Can't accept we're getting married?" I ignored her, addressing the manager directly. The staff brought out my exquisite hand-beaded gown, making Lily gasp with envy. That dress could make a nun reconsider her vows. She sneered. "But even if you bankrupt yourself on fabric, Ethan would never choose you. Sell it to me, I'll pay double." Ethan swaggered in, sneering. "We're done, Emily. This pathetic charade won't make me reconsider. Since Lily wants that dress, consider it your last favor to me. Maybe I'll let you keep my photo on your nightstand." Flexing my wrist, I delivered a stinging slap across his face. "Now I'm certain you need psychiatric evaluation." To the manager, I sighed. Should have checked my horoscope. Rabid dogs everywhere today. Deliver the gown tomorrow, and have your tailor measure my fiancé for his tux. As I turned to leave, Lily clawed at my arm. "I saw it first. That dress belongs to me." The manager intervened politely. "Ms. Adams, Miss Sullivan commissioned this design 6 months ago. The measurements match her specifications perfectly." "But I haven't even tried it," Lily wailed theatrically. "Ethan, I'd die happy wearing this when we marry." Ethan puffed out his chest. "You'll thank me someday for this mercy, Emily. Hand it over, and maybe I'll let you." Crack. My palm connected with his cheek again. "The only thing I'm handing you is a malpractice lawsuit if you don't get that delusional brain scanned." After I slapped Ethan, he immediately lost it. "Emily, you're so ungrateful. I was worried you'd have no groom at your wedding, so I planned to marry Lily first and reluctantly marry you afterward. But since you're acting so spoiled, even if you beg on your knees later, I'll never take you in." My jaw dropped. The store manager and staff looked like they'd just tasted something vile. Seeing my silence, Ethan grew smug. "Emily, even though I've lost my memory, you're so obsessed with me that you can't marry anyone else. I could still marry you, but legally Lily will always be my wife. At most, I'll give you a wedding ceremony. Since Lily's so kind-hearted, you'd better treat her well." Lily glared at me venomously but cooed. "Miss Sullivan, though I'm Ethan's wife, I won't interfere with your relationship. If you ever have his child, I'll raise it as my own." I snapped and slapped Ethan repeatedly across the face. "Ethan, why don't you take a piss and look at yourself? You think your ugly mug deserves 2 women? Did nobody tell you the Qing dynasty fell centuries ago?" Ethan froze in shock. "Emily, you hit me? I gave you an out. No man would want used goods like you now." He then turned to Lily with sickening tenderness. "Don't worry, Lily. I'll only truly love you. We'll wait until our baby's born before marrying Emily." His swollen face paired with this delusional speech made me retch audibly. Ethan turned purple with rage. Another slap cut him off. "Your face makes me sick. Let's see how long your pride lasts." He spat. "Reflect while Lily's pregnant." I walked out, focusing on wedding preparations to avoid further drama. Petulantly, Ethan scheduled his wedding with Lily for my same date. On the big day, Ethan stood beaming at his hotel entrance only to find empty seats. His assistant whispered nervously, "Sir, everyone went to Miss Sullivan's wedding." Ethan scoffed. "What, is Emily holding a bachelor auction?" The assistant blurted. "She's marrying Jake." "Lies." Ethan choked him by the collar. Emily loves me. She'd never marry Jake. The assistant grimaced. He'd warned against faking amnesia. But Ethan had been certain of controlling me. The Millers, swayed by Ethan's illness and Lily's pregnancy, had enabled this farce. Ethan collapsed, muttering, "This wasn't supposed to happen. Emily was supposed to marry me. We were meant to have 2 exceptional children and spend our lives together." The assistant could only urge, "Mr. Miller, Miss Emily is already married. Your wedding with Miss Lily is about to begin. Please get up and compose yourself. The guests are waiting." Ethan snapped out of his daze and shoved his assistant away, stumbling toward the exit. He had just reached the door when Lily came rushing over to block his path. She threw her arms around Ethan's waist, pleading through tears, "Ethan, today's our wedding. Please marry me first. After the ceremony, I swear I won't stop you from going to Emily. Okay?" Ethan's eyes were wild with desperation as he violently shook Lily off. "Get away! Don't stop me!" Lily doubled over from sudden abdominal pain, clutching her stomach as she begged hoarsely, "Ethan, please don't go. Think about our baby." Ethan didn't even look back as he spat. "My biggest regret is keeping you and that child." Lily collapsed to the floor, wailing as she watched Ethan's retreating figure disappear. Jake had just slipped the ring onto my finger when Ethan burst into the venue, face twisted with rage. "Emily, how could you marry someone else? You were supposed to be my wife. Have you forgotten? We were meant to have 2 exceptional children together. Are you abandoning that future too?" The hall fell deathly quiet before erupting into chaos. Guests stared at Ethan with horrified fascination. The Miller family is finished, their sole heir's gone mad. Since when does Ethan dare challenge Jake? Wasn't he getting married today too? Is this some last-minute change of heart? As the whispers swelled, Ethan walked straight to me and dropped to his knees. "Emily, I'm sorry. I know I was wrong. Please call off your wedding with Jake and marry me instead." I tightened my grip on Jake's arm and sneered, "Ethan, didn't you lose your memory? Or has your brain developed new issues? Our engagement was dissolved long ago. We were only ever in an arranged engagement. There's never been anything between us. Keep spreading lies and I'll see you in court." Ethan turned ghostly pale. "Emily, you're really abandoning me? The memory loss was an illness. I never meant to hurt you. But I remember everything now. You're the one I love. Let's get married right here. Right now." Done wasting breath, I exposed his charade. "Enough theatrics. Ethan, you never lost your memories. That amnesia act was just cover for your affair." Ethan swayed on his feet, trembling violently. "Emily, when did you?" "I can explain," I coldly cut him off. "The sight of you makes me sick. Never appear before me again." Taking Jake's hand to resume our vows, I felt his previously tense frame finally relax as he squeezed back fiercely. Ethan screamed hysterically, "Jake! You knew Emily was my fiancée. Yet you stole her. You're despicable. I'm begging you, return Emily to me. I'll trade Miller family's shares." Jake released my hand and pummeled Ethan mercilessly under his hopeful gaze. "Ethan, I've tolerated you purely out of decency. Otherwise, I would have taken Emily long before you could hurt her. You think shares can buy her? You're unworthy of her love." Ethan lay whimpering on the floor, battered beyond resistance. I watched coldly until Jake stopped. Clasping his bloodied hand, we prepared to resume our wedding. Crimson-eyed and broken, Ethan rasped, "Emily, I've always loved you. I only pretended amnesia because Lily got pregnant. I needed to secure our child's future before confessing. True love transcends formalities. Why couldn't you?" Jake's fury reignited. I gestured security to drag Ethan out. My wedding wouldn't be his spectacle. The gossip-hungry guests buzzed like excited raccoons throughout the drama. After farewells, Jake gripped my hands urgently. Emily. I'll cherish you forever. No take-backs allowed. My heart ached beyond gratitude. Our meeting had been accidental. Jake collapsed with fever after his father moved mistresses into their home days after his mother's death. I'd been en route to meet Ethan but diverted to hospitalize him. He reappeared years later as Harrison Group's CEO, vowing to wait for me. In my past life, he'd remained unmarried, steadfastly supporting Sullivan family through every crisis. Overcome. I embraced him. Jake's eyes blazed. Meanwhile, Ethan awoke staring vacantly at the hospital ceiling. Lily instantly masked her resentment with concern. Ethan! Our baby almost. He suddenly lunged, throttling her. You seduced me. Poisoned Emily against me. Without you, she'd forgive me. Security found him hours later, still raving over Lily's unconscious form. Lily's death throes acted like a stimulant to Ethan. He tightened his grip until the Millers heard the commotion and rushed in to save her. Cowering in the corner, Lily stared at Ethan in terror as if facing a demon. Restrained on the bed, Ethan roared with fury at her pitiful act. This exact performance had deceived him before. Initially, Ethan had sought Lily out to atone for past wrongs. But her relentless seduction broke his resolve. After getting pregnant, she'd whisper poisonous words about Emily's jealousy, kneeling to beg for temporary marital status just until the baby comes. Haunted by previous regrets, Ethan foolishly agreed. I should have killed myself for that stupidity. Ethan spat, glaring at Lily. You ruined everything with Emily. Stay gone or I'll finish what I started. When I returned from my honeymoon with Jake, I found Ethan waiting at my doorstep, gaunt, disheveled, looking like death warmed over. He lunged at my car, forcing me to confront him. Emily, please. I had to make you listen. He begged. I recoiled. We have nothing to discuss. His eyes burned with desperate conviction. You'll think I'm crazy, but I'm reborn. In our past life, we had this perfect marriage, 2 amazing kids. Early retirement travels. We vowed eternal love on my deathbed. When I remained silent, Ethan pressed on. You just don't remember. Divorce Jake and Wheel. Really? I cut him off. What about Lily and her child in this past life? Ethan faltered. Why, you forgave me. We sent them abroad. It made us stronger. As his gaze darted away, I closed the distance and slapped him thrice. The real joke is you keeping these memories while chasing Lily again. You made me a laughingstock, trampled my love, and now this act? His face drained of color. You remember too? Every disgusting detail. I confirmed. Ethan's hands clamped my arms like vices. Why didn't you tell me? If you just I coldly cut him off. If I had told you earlier, you wouldn't have broken off our engagement. Then spent your whole life resenting me for coming between you two like last time. Constantly undermining the Sullivan family. No. Emily. I was deceived. Ethan panicked. Then suddenly switched to wounded accusations. Emily. Are you completely blameless? You knew about the misunderstanding. Why didn't you explain? Rushing to marry Jake now, were you two already involved in our previous life? No wonder he always helped the Sullivans. You bitch. How dare you betray me? I slapped Ethan across the face again, this time with full force. The red handprint bloomed instantly. You cheated and think everyone's as disgusting as you? I must have been blind last lifetime to stay with you. You're the stain on my life. Ethan completely broke down, clutching at me desperately. Emily. I truly regret it. Remember how I loved you before? I just made the mistake every man makes. It's forgivable. For the sake of our 2 lifetimes together, our future children, you'd really deny them existence? I shoved him away icily. Everything related to you repulses me, including those hypothetical children. Ethan looked thunderstruck. As I walked away without looking back, He collapsed into hysterical sobs. The shattered heir returned to the Miller mansion. Upon entering, he found Lily caressing her belly with false tenderness. Spotting him, she hastily plastered on a sweet smile. "Ethan, darling, our baby's been so good. He just misses his daddy sometimes. Feel him kick?" Ethan stared unnervingly at Lily's stomach, making her shrink back protectively. Was the pregnancy difficult? His sudden concern startled her. Lily seized his hand coyly. "Any hardship's worth it for our child." Encouraged by his silence, she added venomously, "That Emily jumped into Jake's bed right after dumping you. The tramp deserves." Ethan's hand shot to her throat. "Who let you slander Emily? You and this bastard child ruined everything." He threw her down, brutally kicking her abdomen. "I won't kill you. You'll live in agony, repenting forever." As blood pooled beneath screaming Lily, she finally dropped the act. "You came to me first," she shrieked. "Your dick made the choices. You broke the engagement yourself. This isn't my fault. Emily doesn't want you now. You deserve this. This is your karma. I curse you to never find love in any lifetime." Lily's words shattered Ethan's self-delusion. In a fit of rage, Ethan pinned Lily down and began beating her violently. Lily fought back fiercely, causing Ethan to slam his eye into a table corner. Blood immediately gushed from the wound. His assistant discovered the scene first and called for an ambulance. The violent assault caused Lily to miscarry, and she ultimately lost her uterus. Ethan permanently lost vision in his left eye due to the orbital injury. Knowing the Miller family wouldn't let her go, Lily live-streamed online exposing Ethan's domestic abuse. She also leaked stolen Miller family secrets to their corporate rivals in exchange for protection. While Ethan was still hospitalized, the Miller Corporation's power structure collapsed. By his discharge date, the corporation had new ownership. The Miller family patriarchs were evicted from their mansion, forced to cram into a tiny apartment. The Millers came begging to my parents, pleading for assistance to salvage their company based on past connections. My father frowned coldly. "When you enabled Ethan to harm my daughter, our families became sworn enemies." The Millers slunk away in humiliation. As the Miller Corporation's scandals kept surfacing, the Harrison Corporation announced its acquisition. The once dominant business empire finally fell. At dinner that night, Jake cheerfully ate an extra bowl of rice. I teased him. "All those late nights and early mornings lately, was this about destroying the Millers?" Jake idly played with my fingers, his gaze turning icy. "Anyone who hurts you will pay. Since Ethan dared to harm you, I uprooted their entire empire." I mused. "You orchestrated Lily's livestream too, didn't you?" He nodded. "I boosted her stream's visibility and hired trolls to ensure their public shaming. Tomorrow, evidence will surface proving she was Ethan's mistress. The sympathy she gained online will turn into vicious backlash once the truth comes out." "Emily, do you think I'm too ruthless?" I burrowed into Jake's arms and kissed him. "You did all this for me. It only makes me love you more." He tightened his embrace, nipping at my lips. "Emily, I love you too." Under Jake's meticulous retaliation, the Millers became homeless strays. Even their last property was seized for debts. Blind in one eye with no money for treatment, Ethan resorted to scavenging through trash to survive. The last I heard of Ethan, he'd gone insane. He constantly threatened suicide, babbling, "I need to restart. I want a do-over." Cyberbullying drove Lily back to her rural hometown. Her grandparents sold her to an abusive widower in the mountains once she lost usefulness. After the Millers' downfall, Jake surprised me with an extravagant proposal. He declared, "You'll have everything others do, and things nobody has, if you desire them." Kneeling in a sea of flowers, he vowed passionately, "Emily, will you marry me?" Looking at the man who'd loved me through lifetimes, I smiled radiantly. Yes.